Hey everybody, welcome back to Barber Dave's Barbershop at Home. First and foremost, I want to thank everybody for the comments on yesterday's rant video. I appreciate all the support. And while we're talking about that, don't forget www.theshavingcadre.com. And if you would be so kind, go ahead and subscribe and hit the notification bell. That way you're notified for any new content that comes out. Like I said, usually Sundays, Mondays, and Tuesdays. And then check out hair throughout the video. We were only able to post the links to the Straight Razor School from 1 through 5. I'll post the 6th one up here today, along with all the other guys that post on the Shaving Cadre. So we certainly appreciate it. So what are we going to shave with today? Well, a razor that I haven't shaved with in a long time. This was one of the first custom razors I had made, and the gentleman who made it, this was one of the first ones he did. And it's a there was a concept car. I think it was the Ferrari 408. I can't remember that for sure, but that was the concept. So we came up with this, and this is the Jerry Stark Ferrari concept. It is carbon fiber, red Kieranite scales, and then this is a 7/8 Spanish point, and then these jimps on the top were actually the fins and the vents of the car. And then if you look at the pin screws, they're actually fashioned after the wheel that was on this Ferrari. So it's actually a 7/8 quarter hollow, and originally I had it made for this brush, carbon fiber brush that Matt DeRuiter did for me. But this one is an intimidating razor. It's very hard to strop because it's thick. I mean, it's a beast. So we'll see how that goes today. And with the red theme, so to speak, we are going to be using, just every time I look at this brush, I go crazy. This is a Sorrentino Coca-Cola brush. Yes, with a Sinbad synthetic, ice cubes, and the whole shot. So you can guess what soap we're going to be using today. That's right, the cold one. This was a gift from Scuttle Soap, Brian on the Shaving Cadre. I'm a huge Coca-Cola fan, and this is the closest one that I've seen to that. And then, of course, we'll be using the aftershave and all that other good stuff that goes with it. I'm really starting to like this. Is only the second time I've used this Sinbad knot, but the one nice thing about the cold one, and it's by Apex Shaving Company, it loads super easy. And the Sinbad knot is just perfect. But I mean, that's what, 10 seconds maybe? And nice creamy lather, everything else. This is a really nice soap. And I've said this before when I've used it. It's not quite Coca-Cola. It's not right. It's not RC. I can't picture it. But it's just a wonderful cola scent. So I hope everybody's doing good for a Monday. I'm certainly sure that most of you are back to work. This is what I call my Saturday number 2, or my barber errand day. This is the day I take care of all the errands that I couldn't do during the week. I try to get those all done by running around the city. We did have our power go out last night about 11 o'clock, I think, or 12 o'clock. We had one tremendous thunderstorm go through, and I think it came on about 2:45, 3 o'clock, right around in there. This soap goes on super, super thick. And you can water it. As part of my soap testing, when I do soaps, I always try to see how far I can take it before it breaks. And what I mean by break is before it breaks down. And haven't gotten this one to get there yet, but super rich and creamy. And you know, the hard part nowadays with all the artisan soap makers out there is, and this is a kudos to all the soap makers out there, it's getting harder and harder to rate soaps because the artisans are really stepping it up. And the manufacturers better start thinking about that, because the small soap artisans are just doing a tremendous job with the quality of their soaps. Just incredible. As I said, this Jerry Stark, and sadly, Jerry Stark's not making razors anymore. He went back in the restaurant business. I think I mentioned that before. But this was one of his first ones before it was even branded on the tang. And it's a heavy beast, quarter hollow, with a Spanish point, which I've got to be careful with. This is when I've really got to be careful where that toe point is on the bottom, because I have sometimes lost track of where that's at. And I call it an earlobe and a nostril killer. But what's nice about the quarter hollow is it has a little bit of the feel of a wedge. Along with the efficiency of a hollow. So it's not quite as loud on the face. It doesn't sing quite as much. But with this grind, it's very, very smooth. Like I said, this razor probably intimidates me as much as my MK32. And my MK32 only intimidates me because she's the queen. And I'm not so sure she's not haunted from some ghost in Sweden. Pretty good first pass. I can't remember the last time I touched this, so if I stopped at 30 and 60 this morning, but I may need to touch this up just a little bit. It's been a long time since I've touched that. Touched it up. Had a fantastic Zoom call yesterday, as we always do. So if you're a member of the cadre, come join us. We'd love to have you come and join us on the Zoom calls. Almost broke one of my cardinal rules there. I felt the blade starts to stick a little because I didn't have the blade moving when I touched down right here. And so see, it's very easy to make bonehead mistakes. On flight crews, they call, being the fact that I'm a pilot, they they call things situational awareness. I'm going to try to look at your world in a 360, almost a fourth dimensional view. So you know where every part, every item, what you're doing. So in other words, you're stretching here, so you know where your finger's at, you know where the tip of the blade is, you know where the toe of the blade is, you know where the end of the blade is, you know where the tang is. So, and most importantly, you know where that tip's at. And with these Spanish points, you have to be careful on your angles laterally, or horizontally rather, because that point is waiting to just give them the chance it'll dig in. And here's what I mean about the nostril killer. Most people seem to think that the fool's pass is the most dangerous, but with this razor, it's this pass. The one thing I like about this cola soap is you get really strong hints of the cola each time you lather it, and its residual sticks around for a little bit. I mean, too bad there is not an EDT or an EDP that goes along with that. Now, some people say, why the hell would you want to smell like Coke all day long? Coca-Cola, I should say, or a soda. And why not? I mean, cardamom is one of the biggest components of Coke-based products, and cardamom is wonderful. Yeah, just a little bit of water for the last pass. And one thing about Jerry's razors, if I had to redo it again, I would probably mute the tail and the toe. And I still could, but I like to keep the razor as it was designed. Even though and what it does force me to do is, when you've been straight razor shaving for a long time, you get a little complacent. And I think by having the French point and then of course the squared tail at the base of the blade, it keeps you frosty, so to speak. So you're constantly looking where everything's at. tad bit of cleanup. The nice thing about this soap is with just a little bit of water, the residual slickness is really good. And that's it. Nice DSBBS shave. Again, so we used the Jerry Stark Ferrari Concept, the 7/8 quarter hollow with the French point. A beast of a razor. Again, for the brush, we use the Sorrentino Brushworks Coca-Cola brush with a Sinbad synthetic. Let's see how we did with the Alum. Very nice, hardly any, little couple of bites around the chin, but that's to be expected because, like I said, I don't use this razor that often, and you don't need a lot of pressure with a quarter hollow. And again, today we'll be using the Quinns Pink Grapefruit and Orange Rind. Let that sit there for a second. Do a little bit of cleanup here. And then, of course, we'll be using the Cold One aftershave milk. Just a wonderful, wonderful Coca-Cola or soda cola aftershave. And we'll be using just a little bit of talc. And again, somebody had asked yesterday, what's the talc for? Well, a couple things. It takes off residual moisture. It will help you your face stay drier and not have burrito face if you're living in a humid climate. Plus, it seals the shave, cools the skin a little bit, depending on the one that you're using. And everything from there. So once again, don't forget, folks, come see us, www.theshavingcadre.com. And we appreciate all your comments, your likes, all the subscriptions and stuff like that. I'm Barber Dave. This has been Barber Dave's Barbershop at Home. And I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful Monday. And we'll probably see you again tomorrow. Take care.